One of the most often overlooked components of monotheism's effect on the way we think about the world is its role in solidifying linear thinking. Essentially, where we as humans think about the world from this vantage point. There is a start, we're on a path, and there is some sort of end, depending on which monotheism we're discussing. But they all posit this basic idea. This is a major contrast from what we talked about a few units back, where humans thought about the world and time in terms of circular thinking. It wasn't just politics, it wasn't just the family, it wasn't all those other things that we discussed, that everything happened in terms of time in cycles. No one was in a hurry to get anything done because time's going to come back round again. There's going to be another winter, there's going to be another spring, there's going to be another night, there's going to be another day. While that still applies here, people still had to understand the seasons so they could, of course, follow herds of animals migrating, or they could grow crops, any of those types of things. The most important part of our lives dictated that we were born or created with our monotheistic belief structures, and the three we discussed, Zoroastrianism, Christianity, the four we discussed, Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all posit the idea that we were created and that we're on a path with an end goal. That end goal, again, depending on which one we're talking about, is to be at one in heaven with either Yahweh, God, Uhura Mazda, Allah. Doesn't necessarily matter what name we give it, but we're trying to get somewhere. We have a start and we have an end. This begins to affect the way we organize our lives, as if along the way we are on a specific linear path. It also changes the way we socially organize as well, because it individualizes our journey. It is my journey to reach heaven, rather than our group's journey to perpetuate itself. It was a major transition, and again, it wasn't necessarily born strictly because of monotheism. We could argue that some of the other isms we've discussed, patriarchy, privatization and handing down of hereditary property, those already had set this in motion. But what monotheism does is it solidifies it. It makes it almost absolute in the societies that begin to adopt it. It has some consequences. If we're all on a linear path, do we feel as connected to our community? Maybe, maybe not. One of the unforeseen consequences of linear thinking and the way we view time and the individual nature of it is that if we have a start point and we have an end point, we'll have much less need to have any feelings towards environmental conservation or what type of resource exploitation we're engaging in, because it's not upon us. We'll never need that again. And we're not as concerned with the perpetuation of our society because it's more about me. It's me on my line trying to achieve salvation. And once I achieve salvation, I don't have to address these things anymore. I'm not coming back. I will be at one again with these various deities in heaven. The other thing that we also know is it's not just the singular path towards heaven. These narratives are written as if there is a beginning point and an end point for all of the universe. So in each of the stories, the creator, again, whether it's God, Ahura Mazda, Allah, it doesn't necessarily matter, created the world. Also, they all have an apocalyptic end. So even they are on a linear path, that at some point this is all going to end. In Zoroastrianism, as you'll recall, there will be an epic battle between Ahura Mazda and the fallen angel, Ahriman. And ultimately, Ahura Mazda will win that battle, and of course, everyone will be saved. We all know the story of Revelations. That kind of colors Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, although there are definitely deviations between the three. But the point is still the same. It's all going to end. Creation will lead to eventual destruction, and there will be no need to have to come back around again. So what's the use in conserving any type of resource, whether it's water, whether it's our food, whether it's our crops, whether it's our soil, whether it's even rival humans? What's the point? And like I said, that has a profound effect on the way we begin as humans to think about the world. There'll be a start and an end to everything.